So, with election day less than a month away now, campaigning for the next Legislative Assembly has well and truly begun. I'm on my way to Goose Green to try and find out what the key issues are going to be for members of the public living out in camp and what's going to win their votes. MLAs for camp are tasked with representing a diverse range of constituents, from East to West Falklands and all the outer islands. With voting numbers always smaller in camp, every ballot really does count, with the third and final camp seat from the 2017 general election being settled by just 2 votes. At Goose Green Hall on Wednesday evening, 4 prospective candidates were in attendance to explain to voters why they're standing for camp.
So I decided to stand in this election for camp.
John Birmingham was first to give his thoughts, followed by Teslin Barkman, Anna Crowey, and Ian Hansen.
I don't have any answers how we sort that.
Key issues that were raised early included concerns about funding for big capital projects, such as the new port, and stances on salmon farming.
People are worried about expenditure. You know, the port is a big one, that is a lot of money. We've never borrowed or talked about borrowing that kind of money before. Previous councils have always been careful, they've always looked after their revenue, so that kind of proposal worries people. People want to talk about it and be reassured.
Other areas of interest that were raised in the candidates' opening statements included protecting the environment, particularly drying lands, the recovery of the tourism industry, and calls to improve telecoms.
I think camp are probably very much the same, you know, on our rural level, like the roads, shore, of course, radio, TV, those kind of things. So if they're all reliable and working well, we're happy. If the roads are not reasonably smooth, we're happy. So those kind of things will always be important.
After the candidates' initial statements were over, questions were taken from the floor. The issue of financing the new port was again raised, alongside concerns over community policing and calls to standardise fuel prices across camp. Other questions helped spark discussions on how camp representatives could spend more time working from camp rather than Stanley, plans for the new wool warehouse, and universal calls to update the 1948 Road Traffic Ordinance.
Today we've got all these modern cars. The brakes are great, they're aerodynamic, they've got airbags, that's the safest thing, and yet we're still plodding along at 40. And in the summer, especially when the roads are in good condition, it's probably as dangerous to drive at 40 as it is at 80, because at 40 you can't keep your concentration, and in fact at 40 everybody else on the road is flashing by.
The meeting closed around the 2-hour mark, with voters and candidates heading home with a lot to think about, and campaigning set to only speed up from here on in.